Back here at Soldier Field, and Dan, just because the Vikings are moving up in class against the Bears doesn't mean they can't win. We've seen another game like that this year.
Yeah, we sure have. We saw the Atlanta Falcons playing the Cowboys. Even though they were off to a good start, people said, well, they really don't have much of a chance.
So Jim McMahon, who has led the Bears to 19 straight wins when he has been a starter for Chicago. Galt and Keith Ortego at wide receiver. Dennis Gentry not yet back. And the offensive line, Kurt Becker starting in place of Mark Vortz at left guard. First down. Plenty of time. McMahon. And it's intercepted. The pass is intercepted by Isaac Holt. He was going for Willie Gault, and Isaac Holt has picked it off.
You have to wonder if he's all the way back.
First and 10 at the 38. Leo Lewis in motion. And Darren Nelson is going to be thrown for a loss back at the 41-yard line by Mike Hartenstein.
Darren Nelson.
The Bears defense. Hartenstein, who is starting in place of Richard Dent, who has a groin injury. The linebackers, Otis Wilson, Mike Singletary, and Wilbur Marshall have been nothing short of outstanding. Mike Richardson and Reggie Phillips are the cornerbacks. Dave Duerson and Gary Fensick, the safety. Tommy Kramer, the top-rated passer in the NFL. Nelson gets an opening, and Darren Nelson fires his way inside the 35 to the 34. Two tight end formation. And a first down for Allen Rice, who goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Fifth-round draft pick. Second and 10. Kramer in trouble. And down he goes.
Good hustle, good second effort. There's Wilson blocked right now. Forced clear out, gets up off of the ground, and is going to come back in and make the hit.
Again to Payton. And Payton nearly broke a tackle to get a first down. He stopped shy of about 4 yards.
And at first glance, it looks like this is a dead play. But notice Keith Millard, number 75, loop out and create a vacancy in the Minnesota defensive line. Walter looked like he initially wanted to go to his right, worked back to his left.
How do you really emulate Jim McMahon? Well, here's what the Vikings did. They had quarterback Steve Bono adopting the McMahon look. Bono was waived yesterday, not for that, I might add, and Greg Coleman too. McMahon on play action. Completes the pass to his tight end, Emery Moorhead. Joey Browner making the tackle. There's Darren Nelson. Good pursuit by Dave Duerson, and out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Duerson, who played in the Pro Bowl a year ago, that time really out of position, and that's one of the luxuries. If you're a defensive coordinator, Vince Tobin of the Bears, you can put your athletes in some compromising positions because you know they can recover.
Ditka said he's our best defensive back. Second and 8 at the 23. Kramer getting a rush, and down he goes. And it was Duerson. That's why he's the best, I guess.
And if one guy comes free more often than anyone else, it's Dave Duerson. You see Otis Wilson has to be picked up by a back. Duerson all alone. And he picks up more easy sacks like that. Puts a lot of pressure on the remaining Bear defensive backs, but it sure makes life a lot of fun for Dave Duerson.
Low snap. Barnes at the 39. And Barnes gets into Viking territory to the 47-yard line. A 15-yard return. A Viking move. And Ortego has a first down if it goes against Minnesota inside the 35-yard line. A 10-yard pickup. Rufus Best defending. On the delay, Darren Nelson. Otis Wilson put him in a bear hug.
A lot of people who have had success running the football against the Bears have had it sporadically with quick hitters. I have to wonder why the Minnesota Vikings are running so many delayed handoffs. With a defense that sheds blocks as well as the Chicago Bears, I think you're really putting your running back at a disadvantage.
And Payton got a few extra yards out of that to the 45. They give it to Peyton. Peyton close to midfield, stopped at the 49-yard line. 3rd and 3 at the 48. Calvin Thomas gets a first down into Viking territory. 6 defensive backs in there now for the Vikings. McMahon throwing deep, and he completes it to Ortego. A 50-yard pass play right down the middle to Keith Ortego, and it's 1st and goal for the Bears.
And it's nothing fancy. Keith Ortego in motion, just runs a straight fly pattern, straight for the goal line, and outruns and splits 2 Viking defensive backs. And John Harris, number 44, slow to react. And that clearly, Jim McMahon's best throw of the day. It was letter perfect. It's funny to hear the other Bear players talk about it because Jim McMahon is in an envious role. He's the only guy on this ball club that can get away raising his voice to Mike Ditka. A lot of other players wish that they could do it, know that they can't.
Defensive tackle Steve McMichael reporting in, and let's see if the Bears use that play. 1st and goal on the 2. Not this time. Walter Payton will get the touchdown. 4th touchdown rushing of the year for Walter Payton.
Well, he's been in the end zone a few times, and he gets a fine lead block from Calvin Thomas. Right there, number 33, who picks up the linebacker right on the goal line, and Walter Payton goes in easily.
Kramer trailing 7-0. Gets it out now to Ted Brown. And Brown near a first down, close to the 30-yard line. Kramer intercepted. Reggie Phillips. Only the 2nd interception of the season.
We'll then see Jones here make a move back to the middle of the field, but the throw is back behind. And you have to wonder if Kramer wasn't anticipating a break by Jones in the other direction.
And Reggie Phillips with the interception. His first of the year. Kramer hopes now. And Ted Brown out of the backfield is stopped at the 15-yard line. Still 5 yards short of a first down. Otis Wilson helps up Brown. Kramer out of the backfield once again, this time to Alan Rice. And Rice will have the first down. Alfred Anderson on a fake, the pass to Leo Lewis, and Lewis holds on to it for another first down, and a great catch with Mike Richardson all over his back. 2nd and 10 at the 37. That's a rollout and an interception, and that's Dave Durison. 14-yard return. Kramer not having anywhere near the kind of game he had last week or this season.
On the rollout all the way, but look how the Bear defensive line is flowing with him. There comes Perry, there's the shot, and the ball clear behind the receiver. That time Kramer feels the pressure, and it forces a bad throw.
And Payton down at the 32 by Chris Martin. Payton again. What a move by Walter, and a first down to the 25 where Joey Browner met it.
When you hand the ball off as deep as the Bears do to Payton, you can't have penetration up front. Look at the stalemates on the line of scrimmage, giving Walter the opportunity.
McMahon finds Galt, hit by Isaac Holt, but it'll be good for another Chicago first down inside the 15.
Willie with a little motion makes a sideline move, but see the ball back behind him? Boy, he took a good shot that time from Isaac Holt, but held on to the football.
Bears have 2 timeouts remaining. Minnesota 3. Shuffle pass inside. Dennis Gentry, and he gets inside the 10-yard line. And the kick is good, so Butler is now 9 for 15 on the year. First and 10 on the 17. Kramer under a big rush, gets it off to Ted Brown. And Brown is hit at the 23-yard line. Kramer is sacked for the third time. Steve McMichael.
The underarm move and then the slap back to the inside. Steve McMichael trips up Kramer. Boy, this guy would be somewhat unsung hero of that front four.
First and 10 at the 42. I thought that was only the Michigan fight song. McMahon, good field position. And out of the backfield, completing to Matsui. McMahon is pointing and running. Out of bounds, shy of a first down. Chicago does. A lot of time. Ortego. He's got it. He made the catch with Browner covering. 24 yards, and Ortego caught one for 50 earlier.
We saw him come in motion and run one straight down the field. That's the one that set up the first Bear touchdown this time. Instead of continuing to the goal line, he works towards the sideline.
And Mike Ditka said about the highest compliment I'm sure he could give. He says if everyone had Keith Ortego's character, there would be no trouble at all on this team. Bears lead 10-0 and threatening. McMahon. Out of bounds is Ortego at the 1.
Keith Ortego will work the near sideline. Designated rollout all the way. Keep in mind, this guy didn't even catch a pass last year.
And McMahon, I don't think he made it. He didn't make it. The Vikings hold. Here's Mike Ditka's reaction. He is beside himself.
And he's talking to Eddie Hughes, his offensive coordinator.
And there is Best, a yard in the end zone. And Best leaps his way to the 40-yard line and is out of bounds with a fine return beyond the 40. It was Jim Morrissey who ultimately made the tackle, but a 43-yard kickoff return by Rufus Best of the Vikings. Alan Rice and Ted Brown are the running backs. And then Ted Brown, with a good second effort, carries it out to the 49-yard line and a gain of 8 yards on that play. Kramer fires first down, and that's his tight end, Steve Jordan. 10-0 Chicago. Kramer in trouble. Fourth sack of the game, and this was Duerson, his second.
Otis Wilson goes to the outside. He's picked up, and Dave Duerson, boy, I tell you what, that's a great way to spin the football game, getting to rush the quarterback without having to beat a blocker.
For the Bears on the bench. Kramer. Flag down, and we may have intentional grounding, and Kramer argues the call.
Let's take a look at it. Perry, the first one in, goes down on all fours. Intentional grounding, and Kramer is hot.
Walter Payton to the 27-yard line. 9 minutes to go, third quarter. McMahon all alone is Gentry. First down. And out of bounds at the 40 by Doug Martin, and a gain of 13 yards.
Well, the linebacker, David Howard, comes on the blitz. You see number 99, what that does is force some single coverage. John Harris has to come all the way up from free safety and play Gentry, who's coming out of the backfield. That's awful hard to do.
Turnovers are even. Ted Brown on a reverse. Leo Lewis. Big loss on the play. Back to the 49. Duerson again.
See how slowly he's moving up there? Boy, that reverse to me was telegraphed well in advance. And it certainly didn't have any effect at all on Otis Wilson or Duerson.
Duerson has 2 of the 4 sacks by the Bears today. 2nd and 20. Kramer has time. Had time. Al Harris. Loss of 12. And the Vikings are going backwards fast.
Tommy Kramer initially gets excellent protection. In a situation like this, when he has that much time, you have to depend on a veteran quarterback to somehow get rid of the football.
Payton with Calvin Thomas blocking. And out of bounds after Carl Lee missed a tackle in the backfield. And it was David Howard who finally made the stop.
We're going to see Payton working away from the 3-man side. It's just the simple pitch out of the I formation. But the lead block by Calvin Thomas, the key, he put a Viking on his back, and Walter knows what to do after that.
McMahon has hit his last 6 in a row. He has a 2nd and 7 at the 45. Payton gets to midfield, shy of a first down by a yard and a half. Joey Browner came up from strong safety to make the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 48 for the Bears with 3:34 remaining, 3rd quarter. McMahon has Payton, who goes out of bounds. Calvin Thomas, 1st down. And the Bears are playing Bear football. 2nd and 10 at the 34. McMahon goes to Keith Ortico. What a game he's having. To the 25. Carl Lee was right there.
Remember earlier I complimented Kramer on throwing it into the body on the quick slant. Another good example, only this time Jim McMahon to Keith Ortico. Boy, this kid is really coming on.
5 catches, 99 yards. His first NFL reception was a touchdown against the Green Bay Packers. So here's Butler with a 42-yard attempt. And kick is good. Another bad start, field position-wise, for the Vikings. Ted Brown. Gary Fensick got a hold of him as Brown brings it out to the 17-yard line. That's Alfred Anderson. And he should have the first down for the Vikings. Otis Wilson on the tackle. And this is Alan Rice with Singletary. 3rd and 5. Kramer stepping up and put down. 6th sack of the game, and it was Dan Hampton with help from McMichael. Kramer finds Ted Brown, and Ted Brown is going to have a first down at the 30-yard line. Gary Fensick and Mike Singletary on the stop, so on 3rd and 20, they get the first down. They show blitz, and they come at him. Kramer, Anthony Carter, fumble. The Bears have it. Fensick. Walter Payton plus forward to the 32-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. McMahon running has the first down. McMahon to Ortico. And he's going to go all the way if he can get by 1. He's done it. Keith Ortico, what a game. 6 catches, 157 yards, and that will be a 58-yard touchdown pass in a pretty picture play from Jim McMahon.
Holt's going to play the outside, and then he ends up being behind him and never even is in on the play. And then it's a split of the zone, but he outruns John Harris, number 44. Then it's Carl Lee's turn to come up short, and Keith Ortego showing some speed a lot of people didn't think he had.
First and 10 at the 28. They know he's got to throw. McMichael. 7 sacks by the Bears defense today. Kramer tipped. And it might be caught by a Viking, and it is. Ted Brown wound up with it. New quarterback is Steve Fuller for the Bears. Jim McMahon through for the day. Walter Payton rushes and gets it out to the 15-yard line.
After what he said in the book, I don't know that the Bear organization is going to drop a lot of cash on his doorstep.
3rd and 4. Fuller completes the pass to Dennis Gentry. Matsui carries and goes up the middle. Vikings are trying to strip the ball away, and they get to the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 2. Matsui has a first down to the 37-yard line. Payton. And Walter Payton wide open. Caught by Harris from behind. But not before Payton gets to the 18-yard line, a gain of 40 for Walter Payton.
And I was just getting ready to ask the question, why is Walter Payton still in the football game? Look at the fake to the inside, but again, look how he sets up his blockers. He slows down, allows them to make a block. Boy, this man is gifted in so many different ways.
And for the 76th time in his brilliant career, he's gone over 100 yards. 106 on the day for Walter Payton as he sits down. This will be a 32-yard attempt. He has kicked 2 this afternoon. And Butler's kick is good.
Who's coming to Soldier Field in January and beating the Bears?
Tommy Kramer is going deep for Hassan Jones, and Jones will make the catch at the 32. 1st and 10 Vikings on the Bear 32. That's the only question that remains in this one. Kramer completes the pass to Ted Brown, who goes out of bounds with 7 seconds to go.
He hasn't thrown a pass without Duerson in his face all day.
And this pass doesn't matter. They're not going to get in the end zone. Incomplete, and the ball game is over. Final score, the Bears remain unbeaten, beating the Vikings 23-0. For Dan Deerdorf, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from Soldier Field.